All right, here is the review video and answer key for our version 2 test coming up on Wednesday. So in this first problem, we're given a net and we're trying to figure out what shape this would be. And you'll notice I kind of drew around each one in dark blue. There are only rectangles in this shape, so this would be a rectangular prism. And to figure out dimensions using a net, well, you just notice what are all the side lengths. So these are all 4 going this direction, that dimension. And then that's 3, also the same here, and here, and here. And we can see the third dimension is 5. And so this rectangular prism is a 3 by 4 by 5. And that's actually what we're going to use to find the volume. 3 times 4 times 5 is 60, and this is units cubed. For surface area, we're going to, we could count each individual square in the net. That would take a little while. We can also just multiply the dimensions, like 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 5 is 20, we got another 12 here, another 20, 3 times 5 is 15. And what we'll notice for surface area is there are 2 of each of those rectangles. And so when we add this together, we got 2 12s plus 2 20s plus 2 15s. And so we get a total surface area of 94 units squared. All right, and if we folded this net up, it would look like this rectangular prism here. All right, let's go on to number 2. Number 2, we're going to find the volume and the surface area of this triangular prism. And you'll notice this is a right triangle here, and that is our base of the triangle. And in order to find the area of our triangle here, we have to do base times height divided by 2. We have a base of 9, but we don't have a height yet. And so we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to get that height of the right triangle. So let me go ahead and finish up the Pythagorean theorem here. And let's subtract. We get b squared equals 144. Let's square root both sides. So this length is 12. That's our height of our triangle. All right. And so now we can find the area of that triangle. That's 9 times 12 divided by 2. The area of the triangle is 54 units. Okay. So now if we want to find volume of this shape, remember for all our prisms and cylinders, volume is going to be the area of your base times the amount of layers that you have. The amount of layers that are in between your bases. So here are my 2 triangle bases. 6 is going to be my layers. So we have our area of our base, that was 54, times the amount of layers, 6. And so our volume is going to be 324 units cubed. All right, now moving on to surface area. surface area, we're going to find the area of each of these faces. If you need to, you can draw a net like the one we have here. And in the net, we can see our two triangle bases. They both have areas of 54. We already did them. And then to do the other rectangles, we want to make sure we add in the dimensions that we had. So this was 15. The base of the triangle is 9. Height was 12. 9, 12, 15. This is 12, 12. This will match up with the 15. And then we have our layers. 6 is this dimension here. So then 6 times 15 for this rectangle gives me an area of 90. 6 times 9 is 54. And 6 times 12 is 72. So our surface area is going to add all 5 together. And we get a total surface area of this shape of also 324 units squared. All right, moving on to number 3. So number 3 is going to be an important problem. On the test, you will need to find the volume and surface area of a prism that has a regular polygon as its base. As you can see in this problem, our base is a regular hexagon. And what we're going to want to do is find the area of that hexagon first. We're only given a side length, and so we also need to figure out what is our height, or what is our apothem for this triangle that we draw in the hexagon. We need one more piece of information. We need to know this angle here. To find that, we're going to find our central angle. And to find the central angle, we are going to do 360 degrees divided by 6, because that's how many sides a hexagon has, and we get 60 degrees. So that 60 degrees goes from here all the way to here. We only want half of that, so this angle here is going to be just 30 degrees. Now we're going to use a trig ratio to find our missing height. And in order to do that, we got to first pick out our trig ratio in our right triangle. 2 is the opposite. Our height is our adjacent to our angle, 30 degrees. So we're going to use tangent of 30 degrees equals 2, our opposite, over h, our adjacent. We're going to solve this for our height. So I got height tangent of 30 equals 2. And all I did there was, let me back up a step. I'm going to do a cross multiply to get rid of my proportion. So I got h tangent of 30. And then I'm going to go here, 2 times 1. That's just 2. Now I'm going to isolate my variable h, so I'm going to divide both sides by tangent of 30. And we get 2 over tangent of 30 degrees. And so my height for this right triangle is approximately 3.46 meters. So now that I know the height of this right triangle, I now can find the area of that triangle. And when I say area of that triangle, I'm talking about the area of this triangle that I'm making in bold. And the reason why I'm finding the area of this triangle is because there are 6 of these bigger triangles that make up the hexagon. So the area of my triangle, again, is base times height divided by 2. My base is 4, right? 4 is the side length times my height of 3.46 divided by 2. So my area of my triangle, I put my calculator, is 6.92 meters squared. Now I want to find the area of my hexagon. And all I have to do to find the area of the hexagon is take 6.92, the area of this triangle in bold here, and times it by 6, the number of sides of my hexagon, which is also the amount of triangles that make up that hexagon. And so the area of my hexagon, the base of this prism, has an area of 41.52 meters squared. All right, that was a lot of work and a lot of steps, but now we're pretty much there. To find the volume now of this prism, we're going to take the area of our hexagon and times it by the amount of layers. All right, we already know our area of our hexagon is that, and the layers is the distance between our bases. So what is the distance between our bases? It's 16. So when I multiply those out, my volume of this shape is going to be 664.32 meters cubed. All right, now the surface area. For surface area, that is all of the faces in my that make up the outside of my shape. There are 2 of these regular hexagons here that we already found the area of. So 2 times 41.52. And then there are 6 of these rectangles that go all the way around my hexagonal prism. So I'm going to take 6 times whatever the area of this rectangle is. And so the base of that rectangle is 16. The height of that rectangle is 4. And so I'm going to go 6 times 4 times 16. That's going to represent the area of the rectangles going around the shape. And we get a total surface area of 467.04 meters squared. All right. One more problem that I'm going to go through step by step, and this is number 4. So number 4, we have a cylinder, and here, number 1 says, how much will it hold? That is a volume problem. And to find the volume of a cylinder, it's same as prism. You're going to find the area of your base, which is a circle, and then you're going to times it by your layers, or in this case, the height. So the reason why I'm going to use height this time is these are my bases. 17, the height of that cylinder, is also the amount of layers in between the 2 bases. All right, so I can fill in what I have. Volume The area of a circle is pi r squared, and we're going to use height. And we can really just fill in this formula from here. So we got pi times, and I already did this, the diameter was 19 because it goes all the way across, but we want the radius in order to do our volume. So 9.5 squared times 17, our height. And then when we multiply this out, we get 1,534.25 pi, or if you plug that into your calculator, you would get 4,819.99 inches cubed. That's our volume. For surface area, this is asking how many square inches of plastic. How do I know it's surface area? Because it says inches squared. For surface area, we can make a net, and that's going to be what covers our shape. We have two circles, and again, we're going to find the area of these circles. And we already found that the radius of the circle is 9.5. So the area of this circle is going to be 9.5 squared times pi. It's going to be the same also for this circle. So the area is 90.25 pi. This one is 90.25 pi. And for our rectangle, the base of this rectangle is the circumference that goes around the circle. That's 2 pi r, or pi d. And so in this case, the circumference is 17 pi, and I'm sorry, not 17 pi, 19 pi, and the height is 17. And we're going to do base times height for this rectangle, and that makes 323 pi. We're going to add those three together for our surface area. 90.25 pi plus 90.25 pi plus 323 pi gives me a total surface area of 503.5 pi, or in your calculator, 1,581.79 inches squared. If you want to pause the video, you can do that now, and you can try the last three problems on your own. I'm going to continue the video and just show the answers for 5, 6, and 7. Here's number 5. You can pause it if you want to read through the example. Here is problem number 6. In this problem, they give us the volume, they give us the height. This is the formula for volume of a cylinder. You plug in the parts that you know, and you're going to solve for your radius. And once you know your radius, then you can figure out diameter, which is twice as much. All right, here's problem number 7. Finding the volume, breaking it into two parts, a rectangular prism here in purple and half a cylinder here in green. In order to do half the cylinder, you have to notice that the diameter is 9, which is the same here on the width of the rectangular prism. And since the diameter is 9, then the radius is 4.5. And that's our total volume here on the bottom. That's our review for our version 2 Prisms and Cylinders test.